Today, I am going to talk on rejoicing. I'm in a rejoicing mood, which is a new and exciting mental state for Semke. Before Venerable left, I talked to her a little about an experience I've been having, and she said to share it. When Venerable Samten went to Taiwan, it's almost been a month now, she had to sort of give her task to a number of the different members of the community in order to keep that role going, because she has a very important piece in the communication between the Abbey and the outside world and a lot of things. And I was asked to take on her coordinator email role, which is to respond to all of the online donations, all the requests to offer service, sometimes questions about the Dharma. And so for the past month, I've been responding to these requests. And every time I open one up, it's such a surprise because I never know where they're going to come from and what they're going to say. So I'd say we've had, I think I counted the other day, about 15 different countries represented in some of the online donations. We've had a lot from South America, from the Orient, from the Middle East, Northern Europe, Canada, Mexico. And each one of them, sometimes they write something and sometimes they don't. But what has really been wonderful that I'm rejoicing in for being able to do this little role is that when they do write, they're very heartfelt aspirations. It's like, gosh, I'm so glad that I found you. Or I really appreciate the teachings. It's really helping me with my practice. I'm in the middle of a small town in Argentina or Italy, and I don't have a Dharma center within, 200 kilometers or something like that. And that I'm so glad for the teachings, and I'm so glad that you're there. And then they make these really lovely aspirations to be able to come and visit us one day, to be able to meet Venerable in person. And then they sometimes put a little donation there. And $13, $10. But it's so heartfelt, and they, make an apology about it, because I wish it was more, but the aspiration is so heartfelt. And as the weeks go on, and what I try to do is each one of these, we try to respond to them personally. Not one of these mass dear, and you just fill in the blank, and it's the same old, is that Venerable Chuni has encouraged us in responding to these donations and wanting to offer service, is to make them very personal and to share something that where is their offering going to maybe be directed towards, or what have the offerings of the past, what have we been able to accomplish through the kindness of others. And then sometimes I'll put in a picture either of the community or of the cats or something kind of fun so that they can make a karmic, or a picture of Venerable, that's the favorite one that I like to do, is to make a karmic connection with the Abbey. And so I sometimes see this with the analogy that they say that, to become a Buddha, to create the kind of merit and the cause and conditions to become a Buddha, it's like putting a drop in a very vast ocean. And it starts out very, very small, but it doesn't ever extinguish itself. And that by every drop of virtue, every drop of good intention, every drop of an aspiration grows this huge ocean. And it's not just the ocean that each of us as individuals who are aspiring for Buddhahood are, growing. It's also the connection of the full sort of Sangha, lay, Dharma practitioner community in this entire world that are creating the causes by their small drops of prayers and aspirations, is building this immense, boundless ocean of merit for hopefully the peace and the harmony of this world. So I've been rejoicing at their kindness, at their generosity, and also trying to remind myself that because we live as monastics up here in northeastern Washington, people sometimes have this stereotypical notion that monastics live in a vacuum, that we practice, that we're isolated, that we don't connect with the world, that we don't have any contact with the world, and people think that being a monk or a nun or even a layperson living here, you just get to practice all day and work on your mind or just kind of space out. But everyone, to have the connection with people via this wonderful technology of the internet And then we have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people who visit us physically every year. We do a lot of the live stream teachings. Is that we don't live in a vacuum. If anything, since I have been at the Abbey, I have had more personal one-on-one contact that's really mattered. You know, not just hi, how are you, you know, kind of that superficial stuff that I used to do, is that I have had more opportunities to create relationships, to connect heart to heart, one-to-one with other people, more in the past 9 years since I've been here than I had in my entire life. So it is a wonderful place to where we connect with the world, and we also rejoice at the continual reminder of the kindness of others, the generosity of others, they're wanting us to be successful, they're wanting to come and visit and participate. And I find it to be this kind of organic organism. You know, it's just kind of growing, and it's growing exponentially, you know, day by day. And to just be in awe, to be humbled by it, to remind myself and all of us that this is a dependent arising, this monastery, the Dharma in the world, and each of our practices. But altogether they make quite a vast, sustainable, dependent arising. And to always remember that we're not in it alone, and that we have each other to be able to walk the path to awakening for as long as it takes. So we're creating the cause and conditions to have each other's support in the future. So by the time we get into our second countless great eon, we'll probably have a fairly good support structure for our own practice, and then in turn we will be able to give much, much benefit to those who have not yet met the Dharma, who are just starting to create the causes and conditions to meet the Dharma. And so this is a really wonderful, it's been a wonderful experience for me, and I wanted to share it with all of you.